Welcome to my basics of combat for Starfield. So this is for very hard mode. Now, if you know anything about Bethesda games, you should know that on very hard mode, you basically deal less damage and take more damage, and your AI followers deal normal damage and take normal damage. So they actually will melt enemies with weapons that if you use them, they'll be like pea shooters. So you usually want to get weapons with some kind of oomph, so like a shotgun with headshotting capabilities, meaning that you have to headshot people with a shotgun if you want to deal good damage with it, for the most part. So what's the first thing to know? The first thing is don't stay out in the open. So if I'm just staying out in the open, I'm going to take damage, I'm going to get shot. So you want to find cover, you want to reposition, and also if you're using a shotgun, you want some kind of like long range option so that if you're approaching a group of enemies, it's not like suicidal. So I can like flank, there's dudes up here. You also want a boost pack, the jetpack boost, so you can like get up, grab high ground. You don't want to be visible for very long. Oh, that's a, I just ran into a grenade. That was awkward. All right, let's get up here. So you want to try to isolate enemies. You want to break line of sight because they will shoot you, obviously. And on floaty maps like this, if there's enemies that have hit scan or weapons that hit as soon as they fire, you don't want to be like jumping up out in the open because you'll start just taking tons of damage. So you want to stay low. You kind of want to sprint and hug the ground, stay on the ground. On floaty maps, like out in the open, you will just get shot a ton. So right now there's like 5 enemies in here. So I'm just trying to like find angles of attack. You can change positions. Just trying to get that kill there. There's a dude behind. Now, if you have, an AI with you, a companion, they will clean up things and get a bunch of kills. It's also helpful to have multiple weapons so that if you're reloading, you can switch. So the shotgun, I would say it's a requirement to have some kind of secondary, whether it be a pistol, whatever. Now, when you take damage, you can heal. Obviously, there's like med packs and things like this, and they do regen over time, kind of like how stim packs work on survival mode in Fallout 4. So what you want to do is find cover, heal to at least like 75%, maybe 80%, or up to 100% health. So there's enemies over here. There's 2 down here, so this one's kind of watching. Now you can throw grenades at dudes behind cover. Also keep in mind that grenades, this is really cool, I actually love this detail, grenades physics are affected by the gravity of the planet you're on, which is really cool. So like there's like low grav grenades. So you have to get used to the gravity of the planet you're on. Headshots also usually stagger. So if you headshot some dudes, usually they will stagger, and that can give you an opportunity to damage them for free. Another thing you can do that's very useful is wait for the enemies to shoot at your companion. Because she can take it. Like Sarah, she doesn't look like it, but she's a tank. And on very hard mode, she takes less damage than you. So if you let dudes shoot her instead of you, you can get opportunities to reposition, grab angles, and get some easy kills. Now, also keep in mind that she will get a lot of kills for you. And if you're trying to get weapon kills, this is something that I ran into. I'm trying to get shotgun kills so I can get, higher shotgun ranks for damage increase for the perks and everything. And she will clean up kills. So if you like 2-tap a dude and he's at like, 5% health, she'll clean it up and you won't get that shotgun kill. So keep in mind that she will steal kills from you. And it can be a bit of an issue if you're trying to rapidly get ranks and things. But the main things are this: don't stay out in the open. It doesn't matter what weapon you're using either. Staying out in the open means you're going to be getting shot a lot. Don't jump too much unless you're using cover. So like if you jump around, like let's say there's enemies over here, you could do something like this to like approach them. So you're like approaching them from above, and then you can shoot them. You don't want to be jumping too much in low gravid settings because you'll just be getting shot a lot. And that's something that I was like testing it out just to see like how accurate the enemies are. They're pretty accurate. So if they have good weapons, they will be hitting you and tracking you with like near perfect accuracy. So like right here, they can shoot in between things. You have to be mindful of that. So when you're taking cover, they will shoot in between these little cracks, and you can too. So you have to take note of that. So let's see these enemies. So I can go this way. It's like reposition, because I'm a shotgunner, so I have to close distance. And if I miss it, like, I'm severely punished for doing so. So you have to make sure you're accurate, like line your shots up correctly. Sometimes I'll take like an extra second or so just to like line it up. All right, I think this just opened, so yeah. Also, always reload out of combat, or I'm sorry, like in cover. You don't want to be reloading out in the open. And be mindful of explosive barrels. If you don't want to take cover near an explosive barrel, enemies will either shoot those accidentally or seemingly on purpose sometimes. And also take advantage of them yourself. Alright, so I think there's, you can look at the mini-map, you can see where enemies are positioned. So if I want to breach... The shotgun's very fun. It's a little bit more dangerous to use in other weapons, because you have to close distance gap constantly. Alright, that's her. Sometimes it's hard to tell your companion apart from the enemy units, we'll call them. Alright, so there's one this way, it's below, and there's two over here, you can see on the mini-map. There's one far. Don't stay out too long, like when you peek, just peek for a second and shoot. Don't stay out because another enemy might reposition and hit you. It's very basic FPS stuff. Alright, he's like back here. Okay, and she will clean up kills, so she killed maybe like a third of those, maybe even half of them, to be honest. This weapon, if I use it, is terrible, but when she uses it, she shreds them from like across the map. It's crazy. But that's it for the basics of combat. I will be doing more advanced guides, and especially guides for each weapon type, but if you're going to be using the shotgun, definitely pair it with like a pistol or a rifle so that you have something at range for poking, last hitting. So last hitting is, let's say you put burst damage on something, it's low health, you whip out a pistol, shoot it a few times, that's last hitting. But yeah, don't jump too much. Jump to reposition when they can't see you. That's really good. So like, try to have obstacles in the way, like try to have cover. So like, let's say there's a bunch of enemies up here. If I jump in like this, I'm using this as cover, I'm using this as cover, and now I'm in. So I actually held this angle in a previous attempt at recording this video where I killed like 3 enemies just from this position here. Just be mindful that they will throw grenades at some, in some instances. But if there's space to move, let's say they throw a grenade here, you can like go over here. And you can also do stuff like this, where you like go low. The boost is very flexible, so I'll show it. You want to unlock it, I would say, almost immediately, because you get boost packs pretty quickly. You can also take weird angles like this, like go up. So you can get really creative with how you attack in this game. It's actually really fun, so highly recommend it. Also, make sure you just upgrade your graphics drivers. I did that, and now the game runs smoother, so make sure you do that. I have this on the lowest setting for my PC. Maybe you need to do that for now. I don't know. It can run kind of slow for some PCs, but on the low settings, it still looks pretty decent, and I don't mind it. And I look around so fast I can't tell. But yeah, that's it for this one. Definitely like and subscribe if you enjoyed this or found this useful. Feel free to drop a comment as to how you approach encounters on very hard mode, what tactics you use, and I will definitely read those, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.